Okay. First thing is stand the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, first thing on the agenda is consent agenda. This is regular run of the mill stuff every month. Any questions on that? If not, may make a motion to approve.
I will make a motion.
Someone to second? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Okay, community comment.
Me?
Nope, you actually have a spot.
Oh, okay.
Anybody under community comment? If not, we'll move on. Now, Maureen. You're up.
Did you all have a chance to read the
Get this.
emails that I've been going back and forth with the city with, or the county with? As you can see here, there's back unpaid taxes to 2018. 2017. And to date, the total that is due on the property if someone cut a check today would be $9,380. But since this confession of judgment was worked out and signed between the owner or the LLC, as long as the agreed payments are made by that individual and they don't get behind or delinquent, this can continue on and on and on. The city cannot take possession, or I mean, the county cannot take possession of it or put it in foreclosure. Is because they signed this payment agreement. That's what this confession of judgment is. And if you can see on the payments that I got here, 4 payments have been made since 2020. So I'm assuming this agreement with the county went into effect either right before or sometime in 2020. And if you look above here, the outstanding tax years from 2017 through current, nothing has been paid to date yet in 2026. But there was a payment missed in 2023 towards that judgment.
Only half of it was paid the way it looks.
Yeah, so there's still a delinquent balance. So I want to know why the county didn't pursue this judgment at that time. Because not only does that year taxes have to be paid, but the payment on that agreement also has to be made. And if I'm understanding this correctly, that payment in 2023 was missed. And you can see here the January 31st of 25, that would have been for year 24. And then on the last day of 25, they made it on the last day, but they also get a 90-day
Grace period.
And you will see one of those, was made exactly on March 1st, that one in 2022. And I'm assuming since 2,500 was paid, 2 payments were made, but they can continue to make those payments. Anybody in the family, and as long as the county receives those payments, their hands are tied. If I'm understanding this correctly. So if Lynn or anybody else in the family makes that delinquent payment and pays the current year taxes, they can't foreclose on them because of these back taxes that have not been paid back to 2017, as long as that agreement has been made, or they abide by the agreement. So what I want to know is if the council will approve the following questions for the city attorney to find out. I just, it's just gone on for too long, and I want to make it very clear that I have absolutely nothing against this family. I've always gotten along with them, so I don't want anyone to walk out of here thinking that I'm doing this against them, because I'm not. If the council agrees, these are the questions that I would like. And hopefully you guys will agree, about the 2023 payment that didn't get made. Should the forfeiture have started at that time? And Sue, you got this list, so you don't have to write it down.
Mhm.
And neither the county or the state currently owns the property. So who does? How can we figure, somebody needs to find out who is responsible. And it's in current probate status. Because now that she is deceased, I would assume there's gotta be some type of probate.
Well, that only takes 90 days now, right? It used to take a lot longer than that.
What,
Probate,
I don't know.
I believe so.
Probate. So if it is in probate,
I don't know if an LLC goes for probate, because that's,
okay,
I think probate is for individuals.
okay,
That's my understanding. I could be wrong.
yeah, and I don't know, do you think that's something Kennedy could?
So right here it says, the LLC was administratively terminated February 27 of 2024.
The LLC was.
The LLC was just administratively terminated.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay, but they have made payments
and
since,
anybody can pay anything. So,
But then if that was terminated, I bet you somewhere along the line, that goes back to the spouse. Why wouldn't it? It can't sit there forever the way it is. It just can't be that way.
the land records indicate the property is owned by Dakota Mart LLC.
Yeah, but it was terminated.
Blue Earth County Land Records, that's a Blue Earth County question. This is what the attorney is stating.
I'm also curious if the priority lien holder right now on the property is the county. They come before anybody else with getting paid. The county could not tell me if there are any other liens to date filed against the property. I'm kind of guessing that there's gotta be.
We found that out, what, 4 or 5 months ago? There was more money owed against that?
There appears to be.
Okay, so could Chris find out?
You can find that out too. On MinCourts, go on mincourts.gov. And look up judgments.
So they would list lien holders?
Yep, they would list if there's any judgments against property.
Okay, because the county is saying they know of no other liens against the
Well,
property.
liens and judgments, I don't think are the same thing, are they?
I would say they're two different things, yes. A judgment would mean there's been some kind of court action. And
Correct.
a lien means you entered in some kind of contract, paying a
Correct.
loan or something like that.
That'd be financially a lien.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, I would guess.
So would the title company be able to tell us that?
Yes. Would they? Okay.
I think it was,
They'd have to do a search too.
Oh,
No,
no,
that's it. I mean,
I think it was back when they started. Southern Minnesota Initiative Funds, I believe, was involved, and Region 9. 2 entities, I think, were involved, because when it wasn't making the payments, we sat here and we met with a couple, everybody that was involved, and there was a couple ladies here representing, and I can't honestly tell you who they were or who they represented, but there was, I believe there's more people involved yet. That might be,
that money is owed to.
I believe, I would say,
But unless they file a lien against the property,
that's right, that's where a
they
lien
have
would
no
come in.
legal status, correct?
I would say that's
Anything?
correct.
Well, if it's sold, yeah, then all those judgments will be satisfied prior to the sale.
If there was enough
If there
money.
is- Yes, correct. That is, correct.
And there's not going.
well, but again, that's not anything the city can,
So, yeah, I guess
no, because it's not,
what are we trying to do? So just you want it cleaned up? Because the only way we can legally clean it up is to do the,
do an abatement, but we have to go through the ordinance process and there has to be ordinance violations
and
for us to do that. And then you're incurring all kinds of costs. And at this point, how much does the city want to invest in this?
right, because we're not gonna get it back.
Correct.
That we'll never.
We'll just be in the line of everybody else.
But if you go around to the south side, it's structurally becoming unsafe.
But again, Robert, it's, you know, if we put any money into it, that's money, we're just lighting a match to it and burning it up.
And in order to deem
Not gonna
it
get anything out of it.
structurally unsafe,
Well, we'd clean up an ice.
Unless you clean it up.
Yeah.
you gotta have a building inspector, you gotta pay a building inspector to come out and then assess it, which once again, the city has to pay for. We do not have a building inspector. So we would have to hire one to have them come out and deem it structurally unsafe, and then we could start that process.
Or Maureen brought up a good point. If the family is going in and out of that facility, they're still claiming they got ownership then.
They don't.
Access, but I.
Legally, they don't have ownership, but that doesn't mean they can't go in and out of it.
Well, they don't own it. So it's up, it was the
Well,
LLC,
sheriff and tell the sheriff they can't be in there.
When they're renting,
huh?
they're renting that,
There's nothing the city
Where
can
they
do.
rent it from?
whoever owns it.
The LLC is terminated.
Exactly.
It's,
Wow.
this one,
You know what? How about if we would just invite the spouse to the next meeting and see if he would answer some questions on or about what's going to happen with the building.
I don't think so. I personally asked him
Yeah,
and, he just said, he says, I have nothing to do with that building at all. And I also asked Lynn the same question and he said no.
but it isn't the county's, it isn't theirs, it isn't the LLC's, it's nobody's.
That's basically where we're at. And I'm just, I'm just trying to figure out a way to clean it up.
That's right.
And since Chad said now that the city has no liability, that makes me feel better too, because we certainly don't need another lawsuit. You know what I mean? I mean, if somebody could turn around and come after the city, now what about the environmental issues up there?
Just gonna bring that up. That there, I talked to somebody just within the last 5 days about that the tank was never properly closed. Chances are there's anywhere from 200 to 400 gallons of gas left in that. Because the pipe is off the bottom of the tank that far. I don't know how big a tank it was, but just say there's 400 gallons in there. It's been what, 5, 6 years since it's been open? It's,
I moved here in April of 2019 and they still had to sign up for gas, but they were not selling gas at that time.
so here it's sat there for 7 years now, not being shut down by the pollution control, but you know what the answer he gave me? They were just at my shop last fall or winter. And they were worried about one little corroded pipe that had a low voltage wire in it. And I couldn't fix it during the winter, it was froze. And I totally forgot about it until May. And they sent an email that they're gonna have to send me a small fine because it hasn't been taken care of, because I had to get an extension to get it fixed because it was froze. And the person told me, they're not gonna worry about that because there's no money there, that the state would have to clean it all up on their own. Well, that's some way to look at an environmental thing. If you got money, we're gonna come in and we're gonna enforce it, but if you haven't got any money, you can just do whatever you wanna do. That's what it sounds like.
Do you know if the city has updated ordinances on commercial properties?
I don't know what ours are on commercial property, to be honest.
Do you know if we even have any? I mean.
We have them on commercial on a business district, yes, we do.
I don't know if the ordinances are much different. I mean, well, I guess if it's a commercial property, it's allowed to have more noise, at later times. I remember that in there, like say my trucks, it's in a commercial area though. They come in there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, where you probably can't do that at a house, if you wanted to take a truck to your house and back it in. Cause it's residential. So I know there's that kind of ordinance.
Well, I think that's our first step is to, but then again, how do we enforce it if we don't know who owns the?
You send it to the last known address.
Pardon?
We just send it to the last known address. It will come back to us. And like I said, at what point, then it goes to the county, or then it goes to our attorney. And then we've got the abatement process. Once again, how much money does the city want to stick into this? We're never going to recoup it. So is it better to go as a few residents and ask to help the property owner or whoever we think the property owner is, than trying to get the city to do? Because the city can't do anything. I don't know.
We couldn't. The city couldn't agree to have our maintenance.
No, because if he does there, then so-and-so over there wants him to come over and do that. And then we end up with our maintenance guy being everybody else's personal assistant. So
I know.
it's not city property, he can't do it.
I know when there was a mess down here on, I forget what street. City went in there and mowed it. I believe Tom was he was on the council. I believe that the garbage company went in there and took a bunch of garbage out of that place. You remember that, Mitch? Were you involved?
I guess I don't remember that, but.
It was just a block down that way and then down over at the county road. About the third house, I believe it was, that there was garbage there and it was just in disarray. And I believe Tom and some of the garbage went and they cleaned that up. I know we mowed it, whatever happened to the expense, couldn't tell you. But again, did it cost city $500 to clean up a piece of property that the neighbors were complaining about? Was it worth it?
I guess I don't remember that specific one, but I had been involved in other cleanups, like you're saying, that were they were forced by the county or the city, and they were paid at that time by the city. And I don't know if the city just put it on the taxes or how they actually did it, but that was the end of our involvement of it.
Okay. I knew something happened along the line.
A lot of times ordinances that do that. Clean it up, if it's not a code, you clean it up, you send them the bill, if they're not, they put on the taxes.
That's what our abatement process would do.
It's just like the gas pumps that have been sitting there since it was replaced. 5 miles is a junkyard. You'd make an attempt just to haul them over there and get rid of it.
Well, my other concern is there's like a old dilapidated box that's all caved in up there and there's open exposed pipes coming out from that box. I don't know if they're gas related or what, but it's right. You can't miss it. It's like a gray box that's all rotted. The top's been caved in. But when I was over there weed whacking, I noticed that. And I don't know. I mean, if it leaks, is it gas that's gonna leak?
Well, there's no utilities going into that property at all. The water's off, the gas has been turned off, there's no electricity.
Okay, but do we have to worry about any gas that's under that?
Well, if there's any gas remaining in the gas tanks.
It'd be in the tank. It wouldn't be able to come up to the surface at all. How about if there's rodent infestation? Then what happens?
Mm.
It's bill for her to send to the owner of that property that she weed whacked.
Pardon?
I'm sure there's an ordinance that says you can't have your grass this high.
Right.
Yep.
Correct.
We'll have to talk with the lawyer and figure out what we can do.
Would it help if, say, two of us from the council would talk to the remaining spouse? Do you think that would be anything that would be beneficial?
Well, if she tried and didn't.
Well, yeah, I know, but
I don't know Brad that well, and
I know Brad, but if he doesn't know what's going on, I mean, he would tell you, if he knew, he would tell you.
Yep,
I just
and
can't believe.
Lynn's name came off.
Lynn was,
Property.
Lynn was only involved because he's co-signed the
Right.
loan that they had
Correct,
taken out, and that's been paid.
and
so-
he's taking care of that, so
Yeah,
he's
he has no involvement with the property at all. He's never an owner. He just co-signed on a loan,
on a loan, yep,
so.
yep,
He could file a lien against it. Because he paid off the debt, you know?
You could.
Yeah, he could file a lien against it, so anybody that bought it he could recoup some of his money against it. I'm all for it. It's an eyesore that if we don't act as a council, nothing will ever happen. It's gonna sit there like it is right now for the past 6 or 7 years and nothing's going to happen. How are we gonna make that happen? Don't know.
no, and it's on the prime, it's in the prime business district.
I know it.
I know somebody, if they could pick it up very cheap, they'd be willing to put the money into it. I mean, it's gonna be probably more money put into it than the thing's even worth. But how are we ever gonna get other businesses in here if we don't? You know, but if our hands are tied, our hands are tied. And I agree, I don't wanna spend thousands of dollars on attorney fees and get nowhere, because that's not fair to the taxpayers either. So, I don't know. I was hoping that, you know, getting this information, we could do something, but
It's just been discussed and.
I guess if you wanna search it out, whatever that Min Court, whatever it is, search it out, see if there is money owed to other entities, you know? Contact them and say, hey, what's your feelings on this building? What do you wanna see happen with it? You know? You could do that as a citizen that is concerned about the way it looks, and maybe you could get somewhere with it. Just saying. Don't know what else to say.
I doubt they're gonna get any legal advice on their end because they know the county's gonna be the first in line for any lien money.
Right.
You know, and if they're already 9,000 delinquent, the property ain't worth 9,000 in my opinion. I mean, it's,
It would take,
I mean, if we could just somehow get it torn down, so the lots can become available for somebody to do at least something with the lot. I'm surprised the restaurant wouldn't be interested in it, you know, for parking or whatever, but it's my understanding they have zero interest in any of it, so.
it amazes me that there's nobody from the pollution control come there to do anything about it. It's just like they don't see it. You know,
Has it been
Anybody else?
reported?
pardon?
Maybe residents just need to report it. You start reporting that, you keep reporting it and keep reporting it. Eventually it'll hit somebody's radar. I mean, sometimes squeaky wheel,
We get that going though.
call the EPA,
Yeah, but I mean to get the community involved.
word of mouth, anybody who comes into your business, I don't know. I mean, well, and we can't send out a notice because we can't do that, so.
That one payment that was missed, that didn't hold any legalities where something could happen a little more, or it should already happen,
It
right?
should have, in my opinion, unless I'm misunderstanding what the information the county gave me. But it clearly shows that there was no payment that year and delinquent taxes for that year are still owed.
Okay, here's a good question. We don't know who owns it. Who's paying the taxes?
I bet the last payment they got was when Carrie was alive,
Yeah, it
No,
was in 2025.
because when it.
Two payments were made in 2025. The one at the very end of the year, I'm assuming was for 2024. And then the very last one was on the last day of the year, 12/31 of 25.
Well, they won't start forfeiture for one missed payment if payments have been made after that. And I think we've talked about this before, that even if forfeiture does take place, it takes like a long time, like 5 years
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about that before. So if it's going into forfeiture, probably take 5 years before anything's.
Because don't they have to have the sheriff? It goes to the sheriff for,
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
not like
was-
bankruptcy, but I don't know 100% about it, but I know that like tax forfeiture is another one that takes longer than a bankruptcy, actually. I think it takes like 5 to 7 years before.
What are the payments for? What are they making payments for?
when she was alive, she made,
Taxes.
what they call a, confession of judgment payment plan with the county. So it,
Taxes?
yes, so if she
So I guess.
made her payments as agreed on that contract every year and kept the current year taxes paid, their hands were tied. They could take no action, even though there's years prior to that taxes that are still due.
So they're obviously making their current tax payment.
No, nothing's been paid yet this year. So
I'd call the county and find out who signed that agreement.
I think it was the gal that's now deceased that had the LLC.
No, the county person.
Oh,
Yeah, they'll tell you all about tax forfeiture. They got no, I mean, that's no secret.
county
so like the
person.
county auditor, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
Somebody in the tax department.
somebody in the tax department.
Yeah, it would be.
I went through 3 different departments before I got.
I know, it's
Yeah.
annoying. I know I've
It's
called
crazy.
before and it's.
Yeah.
It's been something crazy, like 5 years or something.
Probably the assessor. I would go to the auditor. The auditors, just, they're not gonna. It's probably the county assessor, who's ever assessing the taxes.
Okay,
That would be my guess.
did you trimmed up around there and took down the weeds?
I did the best that I could.
Well, thank you.
Until the battery went dead on my weed whacker and it was super hot day.
Well, thank you for
There's,
taking some effort in cleaning it.
there's trees growing.
Yes, there is. Yep, in the back.
The building, from the lot, from
Yeah.
the building, and those are gonna have to be. I mean, a weed whacker is simply not gonna.
Well, see what you can find, Maureen,
I
and
just don't wanna get in trouble. I mean, I'm gonna put a trespass thing
I
on,
doubt it.
you know.
nobody owns it. Yeah. Bingo.
Well, I mean, if they do, I guess I'd deal with it, but I guess, I mean, and if the city can't, you know, have anybody do it. Maybe they'll catch on and do it, but I don't really think there's any care as far as the upkeep of it. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a mean way towards the family, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It wouldn't be so bad if it was 4 blocks off Main Street and not across from our beautiful fire department and my business and the restaurant, and you know what I mean? It's on Main Street.
It's just like we're not doing our due diligence to try to get it taken care of also. I mean, you know, I guess people just need to start calling the city and saying, how many complaints have there been? It says continued receiving complaints. Do you get 2 a week, 2 a month?
No.
No?
You had said something about you needed a formal complaint from a citizen.
yep.
So did you take mine as a formal complaint?
Yep.
And then from there,
From there, I create a work order. Eli goes out and reviews the property when he gets to it. And then he reports back, and then depending on what he finds, the letter goes out.
Okay.
Or not, depending on what he finds.
so that hasn't,
I didn't come in until 2:00 today, so I didn't look at any of
that's,
his work orders.
but it's in the process.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. Well, we all know the letter's gonna come back. There's no one to send it to.
All right, no more questions. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next thing is fire department. Mitch is here tonight himself.
Good evening. So, I do believe it went it went out in your guys' packets. We did find or received some bids back for an update for that rescue truck. That we've been kind of talking about you on and off. So just to recap, what this is actually, it's a used X-ambulance module, and that particular module has got, I think, 65,000 miles on it, the top of my head. So they'll take that module, they'll go through it, they'll redo all the wire, redo the lights, and they will place that module on a new Ford F-550 crew cab chassis. So that'll be a 26 or a 27 chassis. And this is from Brindley Mountain down in Union Grove, Alabama. We had another quote come back that was about 330. The proposal come back that was about 330. That was closer. That was out of Aero Ambulance down in Rock Rapids, Iowa, I think. Any case, that 260, I presented this to the membership Tuesday night last week, and they had a couple things that were good points, good things to bring up, good things to talk about. So I had Brindley Mountain create a separate PO for me, and it was things like aluminum wheels instead of steel wheels, where you have the mud gets stuck in between the simulators. There was things like that, and like exit lighting. So you open the door of the truck, the lights come on down on the ground so you can see what you're doing. Step sides or Nerf bars kind of a thing, like that kind of stuff. So long and the short, that additional PO came out to $13,815. So the total price of the truck is $274, $152.92. And what I'm proposing is we originally talked to the board about spending $250, right? And while doing that, we kind of learned that that was originally to be able to purchase a used truck. In this process, we kind of learned that a newer vehicle that'll last us longer is not unattainable, right? So I would propose that the council, or actually what I'm asking for is that the council would approve that original PO at $260,337.92, pending GTFD membership inspection of that module they're proposing, that Brindley Mountain's proposing, and also build quality. We have to send a couple guys down there yet, and that'll be in the next couple weeks before we can actually say, hey, we're going to take this truck. A reminder that we have in your earmarked, the fire department gave $75,000 last year towards the purchase of this truck. And then that public safety one-time funding, we have $24,462. So there's a total of $99,462 that comes off the top of that $260,000. Okay, so the city's portion, Rapidan's portion, Lyra's portion would work out to be $53,625.31, and that's payable. 50% down and 50% on completion. So the city would be having to write the check for that $80,400 now to get the build going, because the townships don't get billed until January, correct?
Correct.
And that's when we get their first half.
We don't pay for the whole thing and we collect from the townships?
Say it
Yeah,
again.
Do we pay for the total payment?
Yep.
And then
that's-
collect from
that's
the
what I'm getting
township?
at. So your actual portion
Yeah,
is city's portion, when this is all said and done, is gonna be 53,000.
Yeah.
But if we sign this contract, we're gonna need to write a check to Brindley Mountain for 80,400 and some change.
yeah, okay.
And then you'll recoup from the townships over billing cycles. So I did mention that I had a separate PO written up for this $13,815. And I think I talked to you a little bit about it. The fire department would participate with that. We would donate the money to the city
Oh, good.
for that, just to try to keep this burden a little bit less on the townships, on the city and all that, right?
That, the body itself there must have been in a crash.
No, they wear out.
Or-
The trucks wear out.
Oh, really?
The actual chassis, they wear them out, or 65,000 miles is a lot on a
How old was the body?
2015.
2050.
That's,
Okay,
that's the picture of the truck that is donating the body right there.
okay.
So no, they're not crashed, they're not wrecked. I haven't seen this one in person yet. Obviously, I've seen a ton of pictures, but the sales people that we're working with right now say that it's like one of the cleanest they have on the lot. Matter of fact, I had him writing up a 2017 at the same time, and I told him to quit when it became the total was going to be greater than this one. You know, to refurbish that body, but that body had 155,000 miles on it, that truck and body. So this is a super common practice that people are remounting these bodies because they are so damn expensive.
So, yeah, it's
You know,
way too much money.
A new truck like this is over $400,000.
Yeah,
So this is just a rescue truck that will replace the one that we currently,
It'll replace the current 1996 FL60. Yep.
and that, yeah, I think Phil's one that said we have a chance we could probably sell it, so it goes through the same process, right? Or-
Yep. I haven't gauged interest with Brindley Mountain yet, but I will. Otherwise, I guess my suggestion would be that we put that on a min bid or something or sealed bid. I don't want to deal with, well, I want it. If you want to go buy it off the auction, you know.
Right.
Another thing I should mention too with this Brindley Mountain Fire apparatus, they're the only ones that, to my knowledge, I was told, they're the only ones that are able to sell you a used or a refurbished truck or refurbished module like this under a buying consortium. So it's Sourcewell is the name of it, and what that does is it allows you to forego the competitive bid process. Because they already did that for you. That's what this consortium is. We did the same thing when we bought, when we procured the last pumper that was bought through HGAC buy. And it's this company XYZ has already bid their prices to this consortium, so you get the lowest price. So this is certainly cleaner on that end. Whereas the other that we had to look at this, they were not involved in a consortium, so it'd been a little tougher to either have to bid it out or justify why you didn't go through the public procurement process.
any further discussion or somebody make a motion to approve?
Oh, yeah, just one, so the city will need to come up with just 80,000 to get this ball rolling?
80,000, if it, you know, yes, 80,000, $440.
When would the truck be complete for the rest or whatever?
So they say that depending on chassis delivery, they expect to get it like January, February, and then like a 4 to 5 month build schedule. So probably June, July.
Oh, well.
So
It's a long time.
yeah, and that's everybody's like that. Everybody's at least that far out, you know. Depending on chassis gets there sooner, then they'll do it sooner, but
Well, you know, it's like you say, small entities like this couldn't afford a brand new chassis and our,
oh, right. There's all sorts of things that we'd love to do, but
yeah,
we pay the
there's a
taxes.
thing called money that puts a limit on
That's
it.
right.
Yep, so,
I think we try pretty hard to only get what we need.
we'll be upgrading quite a few years.
Yeah, that truck 4401 that we have currently is a 1996 FL60 that we bought used off the East Coast. I forget where it came from, but we brought that home 2006, I think, 5 or 6.
Been pretty reliable though, right?
It's been an okay truck. I mean, it's old now. I mean, it's time, right?
Yeah.
But it definitely got us, it did okay for us.
Yeah.
You know,
So we need a motion tonight so you can move forward then, correct?
I would like to have a motion here, it's, what do they call it? I would like, yes, a motion so we can, proceed to execute the contract pending our fire department members' inspection of the facility and the module they're proposing.
Okay.
And this, if we go through with this, this would be the second vehicle that we acquired from Brindley Mountain. That ladder truck came from them too. So I expect that they're still doing the same great job they were 15 years ago, but you know, we gotta go see.
That's 15 years ago already.
I think it's about that. We were trying to decide that the other night. Isn't that crazy?
Time really flies when we're having fun. Well, somebody want to make a motion then to,
I'll make a motion to move forward with the new SBC.
someone a second?
Okay.
All in favor? I oppose, motion carried. All right,
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you. Chad Osterman, M&M Insurance.
I'm gonna be quick. I don't have a lot of new stuff for you.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Property rates are down a little bit. Auto physical damage was up slightly and work comp was down quite a bit. So if you look at your summary page. And that summary page came in with a package at 28,829. And last year's premium was 35,124. And the work comp mod and the auto experience modification, liability experience modification, the League of Minnesota Cities used, all stayed really close to the same, not very much from last year. So it was really just an overall decrease in rate on the property that really we see the premium reduction. We haven't had any property claims, knock on wood, so that's been good. No new work comp claims for a long time, so that's also been good. Keeps our modification low and keeps our rates really good. But for those that are new or can't remember, we do have an ongoing liability claim, of course, that I'm sure you're aware of, and then we still do have a work comp claim open from 1998, so that's how long they stay. So with that, I really don't have, I'm just maybe more here for questions. I really didn't need to take too much of your time, I guess, because nothing's really changed. There's no coverage changes or anything like that, so that's a good thing. We're seeing the property market stabilize a little bit, so, and we can, like I said, even this year seen a little bit of a rate reduction, so that's good. There is a, when we do the excess umbrella liability, which we included in your proposal, of course, there is a statutory limit that you have to waive in order to buy that umbrella liability policy.
oh yeah, we've done that every year.
You have to do it at a council meeting every year. Yep. And then the statute limit then goes up to your umbrella limit.
And it's a motion to, which way again? To,
Motion to waive the tort limit
oh yeah, that's right.
and purchase the umbrella policy.
That cost us extra $1,200 for $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go with that operation.
Mhm.
We
And that
need to-
covers your liability of the city plus the auto liability too. If there was an auto accident, fire trucks driving and kill somebody or whatever.
Do we need any other motion? Do we need to approve the policy too?
Just the tort.
I'll make a motion to waive the tort and purchase the umbrella.
Someone a second,
Second.
all in favor? I oppose, motion carried.
You don't get a choice. You gotta do something.
No. It's like I'm the only one to second it.
It's the same for you.
No, ready?
Go out the rest. Of course, if you guys have any questions, you can always sit home.
Okay.
Does the guy have to reevaluate the properties every few years
The
or?
league actually does it between 5 and 7 years. They'll come out and do an inspection and a lot of times. I haven't always shared it with all the cities, because we do it on the background and just making sure that the inspectors are right about which buildings are what and where they're insured and how much they're insured for. But yeah, we do that type of stuff. Then they have, they have a little more specialized estimators for rebuild costs, because you got different types of buildings with cities, not just in the fume shed, right? It's a little bit more complicated than that. So sometimes we go back and forth with the league on making sure those amounts are right. But typically they're out on an inspection every 5 to 7 years typically. I don't know if I have that with me, if I have the last time they did that.
I bet it's been at least 5 years already. Cause they were always worried about that one playground equipment, which is gone.
Action. 2020, so it'll be coming up. probably
Next year or two. Here's a little question after the fact, but the two guys that come into town and have a repair shop have had a very successful car show last year and this year. And there was probably 145 vehicles down at the ballpark. Do we ever have to call you and make you aware what's happening? And is there anything we should do down there for that volume of cars or people?
No, I mean. Was it a city sponsored event?
No,
No, but they used the property. They used, the church.
If I was to think about it this way, think of it as a landlord. Okay, if you allow somebody to use your property. Okay, do you want the liability or do you want them to have it?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Who,
And because you're a city, you have to think about it a little bit different. Because you're trying to bring people into the community.
that's right.
So, I mean, it's. Like you said, these town celebrations, like deal with Mapleton and West Egg and all those places. If they have a vendor come, they require the vendor to have their own insurance, like they wanna see it. Before they can come. So if I have a softball tournament down there or something, and I'm a private person, you may wanna make me have some liability coverage for the event. Cause you don't wanna be liable for something I do.
Yeah.
The city, but there's a happy medium too, because you're the city trying to bring people into town too. So it's. I can go both ways on it myself.
How much work?
Because the city still has, so what happens is. Let's say I'm the city of Good Thunder and I rent the park out to Sue. Okay, I make her carry $1 million of coverage of liability. I want her insurance to be primary. So then on her insurance, we would put the city of Good Thunder listed on her policy. So we would be covered under her policy if somebody got sued for that event
First,
yeah. And then our policy would be secondary. Any commercial company, League of Minnesota Cities, anybody else that writes commercial business would love for you to have that practice. But in the terms of a city, it's not always practical because. I mean,
what would,
all you can do as a city is to make sure it's cleaned up and safe. There's
yeah,
not stuff laying around, people can trip and fall or, whatever.
We do have a liability form that we worked out with Kennedy years ago. I'm sure that would work.
Yeah,
say if
in the
them,
contracting world, we call it subcontracting. That's what you're doing.
say if them people had to go out and get a liability policy for $1 million for 12 hours, what would that cost?
Well, they can get, a couple $100. They could get a special event policy that lasts one day.
Yeah, okay.
For a couple $100.
Yeah. We do them for sometimes golf tournaments, have had them. Weddings, when you go into a wedding venue, they have require it.
Just trying to have some foresight on things like that,
Yeah. Again, you wanna be safe and you wanna be responsible,
Or
but
would
you
a
don't wanna be
waiver-
restrictive.
Would a waiver work like he was talking about?
Well, that's a liability for the liability waiver, I think.
Yeah, but you're gonna have everyone that comes your way put a sign up.
Well, no, we have to look at it. I know we've had something in the past, but I don't know if we'd cover that as big, but.
Yeah, I think that's more of a typically a participation waiver that you would get in like a youth sport event
Yeah,
or
maybe that's it.
something like
it
that.
was for the Thunder Valley, for the park, they had that archery day or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was
Yeah,
for.
and they might have done that for adult softball league,
Yeah.
where every participant signs that waiver or
Yeah.
something like that.
How about
It's
if,
more of a participant thing than it is from an event standpoint.
well, the church used the concession stand to make hamburgers and brats and whatever. Do we have to ask any from them since it's a charity operation?
What would be your concern?
Well, say somebody got burnt from a grill. How do you handle that?
Whose grill is it?
Yeah, they'd have to prove that we're liable.
Yeah.
We are liable because we let the church use it.
Okay.
And the church maybe doesn't have insurance or. denies the coverage.
That would be a good waiver thing, because that'd be maybe like 5 or 6 people or whatever. We could get all them to sign the waiver.
Well. Yeah. Try.
Being that it's
It's
not,
hard to have like a standardized program of like, okay, if we let people use the facilities here, what are we gonna charge them? What are we gonna require them to do? As an example, the school district, right? You go into that place as a separate entity, you have to carry $1 million liability period, otherwise you can't go in there. I don't care what you're doing.
What
Whether
kind of
you're having a
event?
summer basketball camp, whether you're having theater, whether you're having. I don't know what else they do there, but there's a lot of sporting outside teams that come in, AAU teams, volleyball,
They all have to have their own.
adult volleyball, yeah, they all gotta get their own.
what kind of trouble would the city get into if we say it was sanctioned by the city, that car show,
You mean sponsored by?
or sponsored by?
Yeah, then the league would, or you would just be responsible for
Yeah.
that, but you're already responsible, cause it's on your property.
That's right, yeah,
You could say that you're, I mean, in essence, you were.
How
yeah.
fast can you whip up a policy? Like if I called and said, I'm gonna have this party tonight,
Well, not tonight.
You didn't bring a power?
24 hours,
24
probably, you could
hours.
turn it around. Yeah. I mean, as long as you knew the approximate number of people gonna be there, where is it gonna be held, who's responsible, what is it, what's happening? I mean, are you gonna have a bounce house or not? Or, you know, it's a lot of risk, right? What's the risk? That's what the insurance company wants.
Well, so far in
We've
2
got a
years,
hole-in-one contest for golf tournaments. So if somebody has a hole-in-one contest and they want, if somebody gets a hole-in-one during the golf tournament, they get $25,000. Well, they don't just write a check for 25,000, they buy insurance for it.
Right.
So the insurance company's gonna ask, how many golfers are golfing? What's the level of the golfers? Are they pros or? Are they high school kids or are they? What's the event? Just all about risk. But it's hard to have a standardized situation because you're, like you said, you're kind of in that gray area as a city trying to bring people to the community.
yeah,
Not restrict them, but you wanna be responsible of the taxpayers in your insurance program, so.
well, when you got two guys like
You wanna be able to
that,
use your stuff too that you got at the parks, use them, right? That's why they're there.
yeah, we got two guys that are been pretty successful
Yeah,
2 years in a row. And we want to continue it, just want to make sure we can get as much done the right way as we can.
I don't know what else, I didn't go down to the car show, I was just, not actually at Marine's place, but, that weekend. But what else goes on down there, like, does they bring vendors in? That's where you might have an issue, like, okay, are they gonna bring people in to entertain besides the cars? Like, are they having food trucks, or are they having?
No,
I think they probably eventually like to get to that point, like they've just slowly been building. I think they had some like volunteer people that did face painting for kids and, you
yeah,
know. Throw a thing, toss a ring or whatever.
them games on the other side of the fence were from a church group, I
Oh,
believe.
it was a volunteer.
And it was all volunteer, but man, it kept the kids busy. It just was a really good asset to the car show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just making sure you know what's coming. For that would be a responsibility of the city, I would say, like who's coming in, maybe a discussion every year
yeah,
with them. Not restricting them, just you don't want something, like I said, too risky.
that's all I got.
Do you guys, did you have any questions on the health insurance? It's not. Everything going okay?
Or is it on?
Mhm.
All right. Thank you, Chad.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
you bet.
Okay, Eli. Hey, Eli.
He said that he had put some notes in your packets to kind of update you on some of the projects and things he's working on. I helped him today. Went and he's got that disc mower all put back together,
Does he?
and then the guards or the tarp thing that goes over the top was pretty cumbersome to do alone. He gave me a call. I came in and helped him put that on. So we get the bolts lined up and stuff, and he did a nice job rebuilding that. It's like new now. All I can say is what I see, Eli's doing a really nice job. The ponds look great, the weeds are sprayed, the fence lines are sprayed. Parks and everything look great. I mean, he's busy all the time, so. Between his mechanical ability and what he's doing for city maintenance, he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
I'm just saying that because I don't keep track of what he does day to day. I can't report on that. But from what I see, doing a good job.
boy, he took the street sweeper all apart, put new roller in it, new pickup belt, fixed the brakes. All that during the winter time, you know? And so, yeah, we're very
Picked
fortunate.
up too, he rebuilt something on that this spring that broke. The rear axle, he had to pull the rear axle out of the truck, put a seal in it, put it all back together.
Yeah,
Different things like that, so. Yeah, that's really about all I have. As far as water and wastewater, I don't have really anything going on. I do have to do lead and copper testing, so I'll be dropping sample bottles off at 10 houses in town and then recollecting them, sending them in. I have to test nitrate on the well. And, so I'm including, Eli in the workings of what I do. So he's aware of what I'm doing. And then eventually in the next year or so, I'll have him do it and I'll watch. And we'll get him on track to getting his water license. His wastewater, he's got enough time in. Just needs to get the test done and get his license for that. So it's 3 years for the water, it's 1 year for the wastewater. So he saw the study manuals on his desk, so I know he's working towards that, so. That's all I got.
all right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. Clerk treasurer, update.
It's not a lot. We had National Night Out, seemed to have a good turnout. I got a lot of positive feedback from it.
Perfect.
It's another good night. And on there's some notes that I had, worked on the budget to balance the 2026 budget. And so you'll see there that the different dollars that I took from within the general fund to balance the budget. I needed a motion for that. So I can go ahead. I do need a motion for that. Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve listed budget changes for 26.
Someone second,
I'll second.
all in favor? I oppose, motion carried.
And I can start working on the 27 budget. We do need and I don't know if we want to do that today, or if we want to wait until, what is it, August, September? We're getting close then to the line to do another budget meeting. So if we want to wait and set that after the September one, when everybody's here.
Do we need one in August, or do we want to wait till December for the next budget?
Well, it has to be due by the end of October, so I would like to have it finalized by the first part of October.
Right,
So,
you and I can work on it.
okay,
Set some time, maybe. I don't know if I'm traveling anymore or not. Either next week, if I'm traveling, it'll have to be the week of the 24th.
okay. Okay, that should work, because I'll be gone the following week, but yeah, okay, we'll figure that out. And I did do some property letters with compliance that went out. So that is, but like I said, we do it on residents coming up or calling or telling Eli or emailing me or whatever that there's something going on. We don't drive around, look for it. We review after we're told. Curbside cleanup is October 3rd. Put that on everybody's radar. I will put something also in September water bills. And then we'll post it and everything too. Other than that, that's what all I have.
How about the mileage increase? Do we have to make a motion to accept that?
I don't know.
I can't believe they keep raising it. I know gas went up, but you know, I took a figure and it only costs about 19 cents a mile for fuel in a car that gets 20 some miles a gallon.
Change services,
Mhm.
they take all that into, and have you had an oil change lately? $100 for me.
Nope.
But I mean,
It's not just fuel, it's a total of,
but it's awful minimal of the amount of miles driven, you know?
yeah. Yeah, 76 is a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know it went up. Somebody had told me, so then I looked and I went, oh, yep, it did. So.
Biggest write-offs. I'm happy to see it. Going up from
So-
72 to 76, that's a big jump.
Yeah,
So how do we advertise the cleanup October 3rd so people can take advantage of it?
yep. Well, and it's curbside. People do like the curbside better
Yeah.
than the other one. However, it just limits what you can get rid of then. You
Yeah.
can't get rid of, big things. I'll have that whole thing. I'll put it into a flyer into the water bill and
And do you put it on the internet? Because
I put it on, I will be posted on our posting. I put it on our website and I put it on that
water bill.
the water bill and I also put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're providing this service. We gotta promote it to get stuff cleaned up,
Correct. Yep.
which is hard to do, it seems like. Alrighty.
They'll take the big stuff if you pay for it or like a.
No, this spring we did dumpsters.
Yeah.
So they just could bring their stuff up to the dumpster and then we can haul a lot bigger stuff, but otherwise it's just,
Regular.
yep, boxes, bags, I suppose. I don't know. I don't even know if they'll do chairs.
And it's right under a camera and we put things that can't go in there and they still do it and it's right under the camera. So guess what? We call them and say, no. So it's kind of handy having cameras up there for that purpose. All right, anything else then, Sue?
No,
No?
yeah,
Anybody else? Unfinished business, new business? Miscellaneous business?
Yeah, no,
Nothing?
yeah, no.
Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
We do adjourn.
All in favor? I oppose, motion carried. Thanks, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
And